and the CDC guidelines suggest that people practice social distancing. You're not going to be able to practice social distancing in a rally with thousands of people. So aren't you, in essence, bringing people to a rally where they won't be abiding by those guidelines, adhering to those guidelines?
It's a personal choice of individuals as to what to do, but if we want to talk about internal coherence, I believe that the media needs to work on internal coherence. This wonderful New York Post story, I don't think Stephen Nelson's here, but good job to the New York Post, highlights the hypocrisy of the media where this is okay, protesting, this is not okay, Trump rallies.
Well, I always like to be really honest about everything, and many of you know that I am, addicted to Kayleigh McEnany torture porn. I'm not proud of it. But watching, an attractive blonde, torment a bunch of middle-aged men is just the kind of thing that, I just can't. I try to stop. I want to stop, but I can't stop watching it. It's kind of like. It's kind of like the movie Species, where that really hot blonde rips the spine out of men. And I'm not saying that I've watched those scenes, a dozen times in the course of maybe 15, 20 minutes. But I do watch these scenes over and over again because they remind me of that scene, and I just can't keep watching the same thing. After a while, even Species gets a little tiring. So there was this one moment, and this one was a particularly sweet one because by ripping, first of all, it's very hard to find Jim Acosta's spine. That's the first thing. So first you got to find, before you can rip out Jim Acosta's spine, you actually have to find it. So there's a lot of rooting around and just dig, because it's small. It's a very small thing. So what I really liked about this is Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta, is a particularly egregious character. He is not actually a reporter. He's not a journalist of any kind. He's just a guy who shouts things hoping somebody will pay attention to him. He's kind of like a guy in the subway, who just starts screaming, hoping someone will pay some attention to him. And what was really delicious about this is that he almost compulsively returns to the stupidest thing that the press is doing at the moment. So whatever stupid, really stupid thing the media is doing, that's the thing, that's the place he goes. And so it is an extra little sweetness. It's, it would be sexy just to watch a blonde tear these guys apart anyway, but it's even sweeter when they deserve it, when they can't help, behaving in this way. So one of the things that has been the most ridiculous press meme has been this idea that somehow it's great when thousands of people march shoulder to shoulder down the street saying Black leftists matter. And that has suddenly the Chinese flu stops being a danger. The Chinese virus just disappears. It goes right back to China. Just goes back to China. Oh, sorry, I go back to China now. It goes back to China because these people are such good people that it doesn't want to affect them. You've seen the little virus with the little red things coming off. They just retract whenever it sees people who believe in Black leftists matter. But suddenly, when Donald Trump holds a rally, those things come out again, and it just gets, vicious. So this clown, Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta, says to Kayleigh McEnany, isn't Trump putting people in danger, by having this rally that he's going to have in Oklahoma? Isn't he putting them in danger? Whereas, of course, it was never a danger when they were protesting for Black Lives Matter. And what's so beautiful is that after the hot blonde rips his spine out, like in Species, after Species, Kayleigh McEnany rips his spine out, his response, now that he's rendered spineless, basically says the quiet part out loud. So here's the clip.
If we want to talk about internal coherence, I believe that the media needs to work on internal coherence. This wonderful New York Post story, I don't think Stephen Nelson's here, but good job to the New York Post, highlights the hypocrisy of the media where this is okay, protesting, this is not okay, Trump rallies. It's really remarkable, and I think the American people have taken notice when, for instance, NBC tweets at 4:05 p.m. On June 14th, rally for Black trans lives draws packed crowd to Brooklyn Museum Plaza, seeming to be lauding the protest. And then less than an hour and a half later, they say President Trump plans to rally, but health experts are questioning that decision. CBS had a similar logically inconsistent tweet.
These are protesters protesting against injustice, against racism and police brutality. This is a rally, a political rally. They're not going to be demonstrating for any kind of cause other than supporting the president.
That is a wonder. I mean, you sometimes wonder with leftists if it's not just evil, if it's also stupidity. And this is this thing now that this blonde has reached into his throat, rooted around for his tiny little spine, and ripped out his spine. He just starts talking. He babbles. You know, he no longer has any control over what he's saying. So he just says the quiet part out loud, and he says, "Yes, but I liked what those people are doing, and I don't like what these people are doing," because he likes that they're marching for Black Lives Matter because he thinks that's a good thing. He doesn't know that ultimately all those radicals, the Antifa and the BLM guys will come for him. He doesn't know that. So he thinks that's good. But it's not a political cause to support the president of the United States as if he were just an object in the room. He's just this orange man bad who comes in. It's not that the people believe in anything when they vote for him. They're not voting. They're not coming there to vote for justice that they think they'll get with Donald Trump. So the guy is just like an idiot. But then how can you blame him? And I would just before I stop, I want to address one other thing. Some people think that it is sexist for me to take this obviously accomplished, intelligent woman, Kayleigh McEnany, and reduce her to the level of an alien in a kind of sexy movie. And they're right.